You know what's exhausting? Pretending. Pretending you're okay. Pretending you don't care. Pretending you're over it. Pretending you've moved on. A lot of people aren't living their lives, they're performing them. And eventually, you get so used to pretending that you forget who you really are. That's what we're talking about today. One of the saddest things I've realized is that people don't always lose themselves because of one bad decision. Sometimes they lose themselves because they spend years trying to become the person they think everyone else wants them to be. Maybe it started in childhood. Maybe you learned that being vulnerable wasn't safe. Maybe you learned that showing emotion made people think you were weak. Maybe you learned to smile when you were hurting, so you kept performing. And after enough years, the performance became your identity. There are people walking around today who don't even realize they're still surviving something that happened years ago. The trauma ended. The habits didn't. You still expect people to leave. You still expect disappointment. You still keep people at a distance. Not because you want to, but because somewhere along the way, your mind decided that was the safest way to live. The problem is, what protects you can eventually imprison you. The hardest part about wearing a mask is eventually you have to wear it all the time. Different mask at work, different mask around family, different mask around friends, different mask online. Eventually, you're exhausted. Not because life is hard, but because pretending is. I've learned that freedom doesn't come from becoming someone else. It comes from finally being honest about who you already are. One conversation, one honest moment, one decision to stop hiding. Sometimes that's where life changes. Not because everything around you suddenly becomes easier, because you're finally building your life on the truth instead of an image. That's one of the reasons I started Corrections Reflections. I wanted to build a place where people could stop pretending for a little while, where they could tell the truth about what they've lived through, where accountability isn't about shame. It's about becoming the person you know you're capable of becoming. I've written about this in the Guilty series. Your past has consequences. Your choices matter. But your story doesn't end because of your worst chapter. If it did, none of us would have a future. Growth starts when you stop asking, how do I hide this? And start asking, how do I heal from this? There's a huge difference. If you're listening today, maybe it's time to stop performing. Maybe it's time to stop pretending everything is okay. Maybe it's time to tell the truth to yourself first. That's what we're building through Corrections Reflections. Through this podcast, through our mentorship programs, through the conversations we have, and through the Guilty series. If today's conversation connected with you, you'll find everything we're building at the Corrections Reflections website. Because your past may explain you, but it doesn't have to define where you're going. The question is, who are you becoming when nobody's watching?